I don't even know if I should try this today. For the last couple of days, I've been having some problems with the software that I'm using, and it has not allowed me to get online and stay online. So there's a part of me that's thinking I'm setting myself up for a little frustration. And and it seems that that is what is happening again. All right, so let's see what it is, because it's not even recognizing. Um, it's not even recognizing so far. Mm, let's see if I can get this. It has even taken off of this thing. Let's see. Continue. I'm gonna call this Face It. Face It, and I'm going to put in a paste it and save and close. And let's see if this will work. So far, it is, let's see. Now, I'm still not having a thing that says it's a go. All right, so that is off. That is on. But let's see. If I do a refresh, I am trying here. And I don't know that it is going to work today. It doesn't look like it. I should have gone and got my. I meant to go and grab my little iPad, and I did not. And so let's try this on this computer. Okay. Okay. And so that is done. And let's see if I can do it this way. And let's edit posts. And what did I say that I was calling this today? All in. There we are. So save. And now go live. Okay, so I'm still having issues. And let's see if this works. We'll see if it works. And if it does, great. And if it does not, great. But it looks like I am live on my laptop as well as my desktop. And so I greet you. Greetings this morning, and we will see what this does. I don't know, but hey. It is a Saturday, and as you may know, I have kind of been pre-warning people that I am, like, especially like next Saturday, the second Saturdays of the month, I cannot be here. And so I was thinking about actually ceasing my Saturdays because, well, because since I'm having whatever is too low. Please set the frame rate to or viewers will experience a, okay, so how do I do that? Frame per second, please set the frames per second. Okay, so let me see. Let's see, how do I do that? Okay. Let's see. Okay. Well, if you would get out of the way, maybe I could change it. But I can't change it with you in the way. Okay, so okay, so this is giving me a warning sign. I'm sorry, my apologies. It's I'm not even sure if anybody is watching, but I'm already getting warning signs that my settings are not conducive to what I'm doing. And this thing, while it's telling me to change it, it is blocking my ability to change it. So, that is kind of crazy. Okay, so, let's see. If I go here, let's see, presets. Okay, okay, so let me select a preset over here. And, okay, so I want to speed it up. It's supposed to be set by 120. Create new. Let's try that. Okay. Alright, so let's do this. I don't know exactly what it is that I'm supposed to be doing, but why am I doing this while you guys are on here, right? It's because I don't have another way of doing it. Let's see. It says 180. 180. I don't have that as an option. Okay. And I'm not even sure if I'm still broadcasting because it gave me warning signs. Okay. Okay. So none of these are options. Let's see if I change the frames per second. If it gives me different options, it still does not. Okay. You guys, I don't know how to change this. I am just dumbfounded on how to make this work. So, I guess I will have to work on it another time. My bad. My bad. This is not letting me do what I need to do. So, hey, Jare, I know that Jerry. What's up? How are you? I don't even know that you're still on here, but what's up? You're in, are you still in Cali? I'm not even sure. So, I'm just having issues today with my video, and I'm getting warning signs on here that is saying that I've got, my settings are too something. They're off. It's saying my frames per second is too slow and that I need to change them. And it won't let me change them when I go to change them. And maybe it's because I'm already streaming and I have to get off in order to stream. So, I will tell you guys, I actually have a lot on my plate today. I've got some meetings and stuff. And so, I may or may not get off here really quickly, um, because I don't know how to get around this. Maybe I need to go back out and come back on. Yeah, let me end this and then I'll redo it. All right, I'll be back. If you decide to hang with me. All right, so end and all right, so return home. And so, hey to YouTube, I am, as you can see, having issues um, on my other stream, where I am really trying to figure out how to get this where I don't have these warning messages popping up while I'm talking, and it's just kind of crazy. I'm not exactly sure. Um, I'm not exactly sure of how this is supposed to work. Settings. Maybe if I go to settings and stream, and it's saying, okay, so if I say normal, let me try that. Okay, so I'm going to now close all of that back up and go back here. Okay, so now edit post, and my thing was all in. Wrong screen or wrong keyboard. All right, so save and webcam, and why does this have to be this wide? Okay, so here we go. And I am going to go live again. Let's try this one more time and see how this works. I want to get through this and not have to rush because things are not as they should be. So welcome, good morning. And I'm going to say good morning once again on YouTube. I need to cut this verse 13. I need to cut this, I don't know, I'm 14 minutes in, so I need to cut off 14 minutes off of my YouTube. So let me write that down. So good morning to you, and so I am just so glad to be here today. I've got a full day, but I really wanted to come on here and share because today I have had some amazing insights so far during the course of the day. I know that it is only really like it's before 9 a.m. I really aim to get these up at 8 a.m., but it never seems to happen that I get these up. I'm getting a warning message again. I never seem to get these up or get on here according to my 8 a.m. time slot anymore. But what I notice is that nobody actually comes on at 8 a.m. to watch. So it kind of gets pushed back a little bit. So whatever the case may be. It's all good. And people watch them throughout the course of the day. So it's all good. So anyway, let me say that, one, that Saturdays are going to be sporadic at best. From here on out, I'll come on a Saturday if I desire to. But because I am starting a training class that I am attending, I don't get to set the time. I get to go at the time. I'll be unavailable during this hour in the morning. So I'm excited about that. I'm truly excited about what that is to bring into my life. So I won't be available on Saturdays per se, at least not every Saturday. So I will try to see when I'll pop in and not throughout the course of this. Anyway, now having said that, I come on here and there's a few things that I do out of, do I want to say out of habit or because it's what I do or whatever. It used to be that in the morning time when I got ready to do my meditation, I do my Course in Miracles, and then I would do my daily guides, and then I go into meditation, meditate for a half hour or so, and then I start journaling and I, bounce. So at one point, the daily guides got so rich and they were influencing what I was saying on here. So rather than read that, sit in meditation, blah, 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 I just started incorporating the whole thing. And so part of what I am now trying to readjust myself to doing is, and what I have readjusted myself to doing for the last couple of months, is doing the daily guides on here. So I still like to do the daily guides on here just for those people who might be interested in having something like that as a base for your day. And I am so glad that you watch me as a base for your day, sort of like an anchoring point to, that kind of stimulates something for you in your thoughts. Don't know. But whatever the case may be, now I am, when I'm talking about not doing Saturdays, what I still might do is put up a quick video on Saturday mornings so that I can share with you that and any thoughts I may have about it, but not necessarily do an all-out stretch, which is usually ends up anywhere from being 40 minutes to an hour. I might just truncate all of that so that I'm still dropping something on that day of the week. I won't mess up my time, but not necessarily sit and do an hour. So that is a possibility, and you guys will see that as it starts to roll out, because next Saturday will be my first one. So now, that aside, this morning, I want to read this, and then I want to tell y'all about some of my insights this morning, because it's been so rich and so good. You may or may not know, I am always talking about Dr. Brown. I invoke his name at least once every day on here. I don't know, perhaps more, but this idea of looking at myself differently. A while back ago, some months ago, I think I mentioned on here with Dr. Brown that I had this dream that when I saw myself, I was walking earth. Now, when I say I was walking earth, I saw my body as ground with grass sprouting out of it. And everything was just about me was this moving earth. And I was still as me, not as me, because I didn't look like this. I looked like earth, like I needed to be maintained or cut like the earth does. I just, whether it was a flower here or a dandelion there, I saw this in my dream and I did not quite understand it. And it toyed with me. I kept thinking, what the heck is that about? So I think I mentioned it to Dr. Brown. But now, as we have moved forward from that time when I had that original dream up until now, it's been really interesting to see how that has, it's kind of played out. It has manifested itself in how I now see this thing called me. I mean, it's just amazing. So as Dr. Brown talks about this gastro, our second brain, so to speak, and all of the bacteria, fungi, the microbial network that is me, that feeds and animates and all of this stuff, and how all of it affects, when you start thinking about the foods that you eat and the things that you have in your system, your digestive tract and all that, it influences and impacts how you think. It can impact your eyes. It can impact everything. So I started really looking at myself through Dr. Brown's talking and through Bruce Lipton and what is the other guy's name who does these things, but through all of that began looking at myself not just as a body, because that's what we see a physical body that is us. But when you think about it, you are not just a body. You are literally trillions of cells that come together. And as Bruce Lipton would say, he's like, it's not a kidney cell and a liver cell and a heart cell and all of this stuff. He says cells themselves are undifferentiated. They go where they're needed, and they apply themselves to the task at hand. And so you are literally all these trillions of cells that come together and agree to show up as you or show up as me, right? And so when I think about it and all of this that is this, I can literally see how when you get the things right, whether it is the pH level, the main whatever the source and substance is, that if you could think about this as a this thing called the firmament, that the soup that is you, all of this participating in this wonderful thing called you or called me. And so now as I'm tweaking this, it is so amazing the things that I'm experiencing. So when I talk about hugging a tree or putting your feet in the grass, it's because I keep getting these clear images that it is all connected and that it is the source. I mean, literally everything that you need for your life comes from this thing called earth. I don't care what you're thinking about. It comes from the earth. There is, when they say matter is neither created nor destroyed, we change around molecules. You mix together. We do these alchemical processes to go from water to Kool-Aid or from barley to beer or from different things. We change around things. We do some alchemical magic on things, and then we change it and shift it into being something else. But here's the interesting thing, that not everything is for us. I don't know if you have a dog. I have two now. And dogs will go out and you don't even know that they're having issues, stomach issues or whatever. And what they'll do is they'll start sniffing. And then they find the perfect grass that they need for whatever is ailing them in their system, and then they start to eat that grass, right? You see, it's not all grass. It's not, I don't know that it's crabgrass or any kind of particular, I don't know what it is because I'm not smelling it, but they know it when they hit upon it. Everything is not made for our body. They don't go out there and just eat willy-nilly stuff. They eat the right stuff. And we have lost touch with what is the right stuff because, to some extent, if they put some sugar on it or, some sauce on it, you'll eat it. That's the way most people operate. They just eat. And so when we become more discriminate about what we're putting into our body, maybe our body will respond differently. And this is not to say, oh, you got to starve your body or go based on what somebody else says, but it's starting to have an intuitive relationship with food and with yourself and all of that stuff and how you're putting it in there. I think it's really magical and it's really good. So, and so this is bringing up different stuff for me. I don't know, how everybody else processes, but, it's like when it starts to bring up and vibrate differently, I'm looking at everything different. Oh my God, it's so good. It's so good. And to think that all this time, I've been being fed by, by these things. And I don't know. I want to say the last thing I'm going to say about that is that some years ago, I don't even know how many years ago it was. I wonder if I got anything that would trigger a memory from then so I can put a finger on what else was happening. Maybe so. I'll look and see in my records because I remember writing a letter to Sarah Harper. So let me look through my stuff and see if I can find out or pinpoint a closer date that at least would put me back in touch with the decade that I was in. There was a guy who, friend of mine's who card carrying Native American. And he was always watching out for me, always doing stuff for me. Because he believed that a woman, shouldn't be onto herself, but rather needed what he kind of termed coverage. And so, so he was always doing stuff, whatever. It wasn't anything romantic about our relationship. It was just, he was a friend and he would bring me stuff. Sometimes he'd bring me fruit if he had fruit. I could be someplace and if he saw my car, here he comes. It just, whatever. He was just that kind of guy. Anyway, he used to annoy the guy that I was dating too. Ooh, it used to make him so mad. He would like, what is he doing at your house? Whatever, right? Anyway, so at one point, I told you he was Native American. He brought over a mushroom for me. And the mushroom had to be the size of my pad here, my, whatever you call these, mouse pads. I know I got a infrared thing. Why do I need a mouse pad? Is what I do. But it was about, 8 inches in diameter. And it was really interesting because what he told me to do is he wanted me to fill up this, a jar or to fill up this container with water and then lay the mushroom on top of there. And then I put a cheesecloth on top of there and tied it. And he said, let this sit for a couple of weeks and then start drinking off of it. Just drink whatever, like a small glass every day. And so after a while, it got acidic, right? There was a acidity to it and it grew another mushroom. And I was drinking it, not even knowing what the heck it was doing or would do. But I was just like, okay. He says it had some kind of magical properties to kind of make me feel a particular kind of way. Well, stuff. I was just like, oh, so even back, I don't know, 20 years ago, there was somebody talking to me about, without the terminology that Dr. Brown uses, but this idea of my ecosystem, my microbial self. There was somebody talking to me about that. And so when I have this notion that, I am this moving earth, when I talk about our plant cesters and talk about our connectiveness with the earth, it's all in there. And I just don't know that we see it nor appreciate it in the same way. There is a reason why people, why environmentalists talk about trees and tree canopies, talk about the soil and being mindful of that. It's because this earth feeds us. And me having a compost bin in my yard, and keeping a garden, all of that is a part of recognizing that I am one with all of this. And I just think it's powerful when we get a clue as to, we're not just on the earth, we are part of it. Ooh, it's good, it's good, it's good. So all of that has been playing in my mind today, and I just appreciate the whatever that may mean. All right, so I want to read and share with you this daily guide for today. And then I think I am going, well, let me not say that. I'm going to say I'm a bounce, but let me read this because when I finally do read this, it sometimes inspires something very different in me. So yeah, here we go. So for today, the title of this one is I will be gentle with myself. And remember, these during the month of March are written by Reverend Michael Gott. And from Karen Drucker, who is an amazing songstress, musician, all of that. She is with a church, I think, out in Seattle, and she does some amazing songs. So if you ever get the urge to tell your device to play music by Karen Drucker, it's wonderful. But I guess I don't know if this is lyrics, but the quote comes from her. I will be gentle with myself. I will be gentle with myself, and I will hold myself like a newborn baby. Nice, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And from Ernest Holmes, The Science of Mind, it's a little quote. Thy voice is sweet and tender. It is always kind and gentle. All right, so here is what he wrote. I'm going to sit this on a stand so I can use my hands. Y'all just don't know. It's being in this body, in this conglomeration of the trillions of cells and energies and beings, all that participate in who and what I am, is so amazingly juicy and marvelous. And I hope that you enjoy being in your body as much as I do being in mine. And here's one of the things that we learned from the Celestine prophecy: what you raise, what you praise, you raise. So this idea of speaking stuff over your body, whether it's words of affirmation or appreciation, it lifts it. What you praise, you raise. Raise is right in the word praise. So what you praise, you raise. So, start speaking to your body and letting it know how much, thank you, feet, right? Ooh, for carrying me, for doing what you do, and for being a vessel of healing, right? One of the things that Dr. Brown said is we learn through reflexology that our ears and our hands and our feet have our points or reference points for every cell in your body. And so simply by working on manipulating your hands, manipulating your ears or your feet. Ooh, all of that is healing, working to stimulate things in your body because it's all connected. Hey, good morning, Dana, beautiful. How are you, dear? I know I wished you happy birthday on here. I'm a fellow Pisces, and oh, it's so yes. So yes, girl, your yummy self. Just praise it so that you raise it. It's so wonderful when we start to recognize that all of this is working together. All right, so let me read this because I get so excited. Y'all know I just gotta calm myself down. So this is what Reverend Michael Gott wrote. He says, as I write this, I am recovering from a moderate case of COVID-19. Knock on wood, I have not had COVID-19. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I like to say, remember, y'all know I'm accustomed to speaking my words over things. I am invisible to things like that. It does not see me because remember, I was just talking about what is there is a corresponding, a vibrational stuff that sometimes it is attracted to that vibration. I'm vibrating higher than that, so I'm not attracting that, right? This is his words. He says, I followed the advice of medical community from the beginning of the pandemic, but somehow I just got too busy to get the latest booster. I don't know if I would have avoided contracting the virus or not. If I had, oh, wait a minute, I'm sorry. I don't know if I would have avoided contracting the virus or not if I had, but it's part of a lifelong pattern that I'm still playing out, it seems. He says, I often put the demands of work and other commitments ahead of my health. Now, I gotta interject there, right? Because a friend of mine who is always proactive on anything. So if there is a vaccination available, he has got it, right? He gets his vaccinations. He does what, he's supposed to do. And still, he contracted COVID-19. Now, may be that, yes, it was a mild case for him, but he still got it because of the environment where he works and where he plays, I suppose. But he still got it. But it was it was a week. He was down for about 7 days. And then he recuperated, which was more than could be said for another family member of his that succumbed to it and died. And so I am not a vibrational match for that. Knock on wood, right? I'm so thankful, so thankful, so thankful. So he says, when some people experience a temporary illness, they tell me that they lean into self-care and give themselves ample time and space to heal and to nurture their bodies in the process. This has not been his habit, he says. No, he says he has always tried to power through. I tried to do that a few days ago after getting what now appears to be a false negative reading from a couple of home tests. He wasn't feeling well, but he decided to show up to his commitments, masked and distanced, he said, because I was about to be mad. And the result was a huge set body temple, time and space to heal. And he says it's not been easy. That's a mind thing, right? That's a mind job. Sometimes we think we are so important that the world would stop turning if we were to just take a time out. But I digress. Here we go. Back into his stuff. He says this morning he was thinking about the beautiful song written by his friend Karen Drucker. I will be gentle with myself. The line that says, I will hold myself like a newborn baby child, pierced my heart. Would I ever force a baby to power through? Of course not. Could I bring the same compassion, loving energy to my own body and healing experience? I'm doing my best to do just that. Am I forgiving myself for all the times I forced and pushed when I should have stopped and rest? Yes, that's what he's saying he's doing. So his affirmation that he put with this is, and I don't know who needed to hear this, but somebody probably needed to hear this. I know tons of people like this that won't take time off work, get bent out of shape when they need to, not necessarily considering the people who that they are also putting at risk when they choose not to, to take care of self. Have a Selah moment. Selah is that thing that they used to include in between scriptural things that means pause. I mean, sometimes you got to pause, providing space for ideas, providing I used to marvel and at space and how absolutely necessary space is. Do you know that without space you wouldn't act into no some there is space. Space is necessary. It creates the boundaries of things. So space is something that is important. Time, that's what time looks like. It's space. I'm holding space for you. I'm holding space for a healing to occur, whatever that healing may be. Sometimes it's a physical healing that we need. Sometimes it's a mental healing that we need. But whatever it is, this idea of providing the space is nevertheless so important, because sometimes we just so busy overlapping. You know that I gotta finish his thing, but this idea, I constantly talk about this when I'm doing my trainings. Busyness is a currency that we have, and the busier we are, the more important we feel. And the people who we surmise as I don't want to use the word lazy, because that's not at all what it is, but the people that we think are not as busy, or who really appreciate this Selah, being able to take a pause, we have judgments on them. As a matter of fact, in our society, it has become, we pathologize so many different things. When somebody says that they are a homemaker or a mother, it's like women, even, sisters will, look down on that as if there is something that needs to be corrected in that thing, as if the only way to be is a particular way. Like we've all got to be ambitious, or we've all got to be busy, or we've all got to be. Yes, I get here's one of the things I say. If nobody is using you, if nobody's talking to you, coming to you, it might be because you are, you need space and time to create. Henry Ford, they say that he used to go into a totally white room with just a desk and a chair, a pencil and a pad of paper, and sit. Meditation, if you want to call it that, sitting for ideas. There are people who recognize that there is a necessity to create the space and time to things to come to me, because I know that I need to have that space so that I can experience whatever it is that I need to experience. You guys, you owe it to yourself to carve out time for yourself. Carve out some time. It's not so hard. And forgive yourself for judging it, right? For whatever that may mean. Just stop. Stop with this, the idea of I gotta have my nose to the grindstone all the time. Because I will tell you that this idea around work ethic and having your nose to the grindstone is something that people who are in control of the capitalist system have put in place to keep you grinding for them. Now, when I go to, I went to, y'all know I went to school in Italy. And one of the things that they hated to make movies or films in Italy because there was not enough money to pay somebody to work overtime. Like, they don't care about your production schedule. We have 2 or 3 hour lunch breaks, so they take what is called a siesta. They don't call it siesta. That's what they call it in Mexico, but that's what we're most familiar with. You work a certain time. You don't get up at and they're not big on breakfast, but you don't get up at 7 in the morning to make it to a 7:30 or 8 o'clock job. Everything starts at, like, say for instance, 10 o'clock. And they work really hard until 1 o'clock. And then they go and they take lunch from 1 to 3 most of the time. Something like that, right? And then at 3 o'clock they come back and they work till 7. And then it's done for the day. It's done. You don't work overtime. At least not when I was there. That was just not something that they even had a concept for. And so a lot of places wouldn't go to places that value the time that they spend for food, for relaxation, for a nap, for things like that. Places that is about the grind, companies, they don't go there because those people are like, yeah. They used to have this running joke, and they said that Americans love to work. No. Americans live to work and Italians work to live, right? And there was a difference in the hierarchy and how it played out in their lives. Ooh, this thing done went down. All right, so let me just read this and then I got to bounce. Okay. This thing goes out after you haven't touched it in a minute, like anything else. Isn't that a good analogy for life? Like anything else, it suffers when you don't touch it. You can take that on any level you want to, whatever, however you heard it. Yes. All right. So the affirmation: I forgive myself for not trusting and honoring my body. I now give loving care and healing energy to myself in my body, my heart, my soul, and my mind. I allow this love to move in and through me now. And so it is. Yeah. All right. So that's what I got for you. And I thank you for being here. Dana, if you're still here, so good to see you on here. All of y'all, whoever, I am so grateful and so blessed to have you on this journey with me. So I'm going to get ready I've got a meeting coming up in just a minute, and I've got work to do in order to get ready for that. And then I got a meeting, and then I got a class, and then hopefully be going to lunch. We'll see how all of that works. It's all in there. So I'll be on at 1 o'clock tomorrow for Agape Renaissance Center's service. So if you can join me 1 o'clock tomorrow. That'll be great. Otherwise, on Monday, I'll be back here, and I'm averaging about 8:15 or so, 8:15, 8:20. So on Monday morning, I will be right back in this seat and ready to talk to you. And hopefully I'll work out all of this software issues between now and then. All right. Have an amazing day. And yeah, be good to you. Love on you. All right. Praise you. All that juicy stuff. All right. See ya. Bye. Yes. And all right, and I'm going to end over here, and I'll try to edit this. Like, subscribe, comment, all of that good stuff. All right, take care. I'll see you soon.